Hey, it's Automobile Reveals, and now this is my next car, a 1988 Mercedes-Benz 190e 2.3. Okay, now for the front. This is a 28-year-old car, and for that old, the front is basically in perfect condition. There's a couple scratches here and there, but other than that, it's like mint condition. Usually on older cars, the lights have fade in it, or like they look foggy and yellow, and these obviously don't, because it was garaged for 28 years. And also the chrome is in perfect condition. There's no scratches or dings in that or anything. And it still has the hood ornament, even though people used to try to steal them. So that's really good. And the bumper has no dents or scratches in it, or minor scratches, but basically none. So now we'll go move to the engine. This, a lot of people don't know this, but the hood can go straight up, because sometimes the hydraulic lift, I guess, doesn't work like this one, sadly, but it does have a latch where sorry, you can fold it all the way up and it stays like this, so it's really easy to get to everything if you need to work on it. And like I said, it's the 190e 2.3, which means it has a 2.3 liter 4-cylinder engine, which produces 136 horsepower, which is pretty good because this car is light and small. Well, not super small, but it is a smaller car. And the engine is really clean for how old it is. A lot of the times there's rust everywhere and just like leaks you can see and everywhere. But other than that, it's pretty good. And one thing someone told me is there are two fans for the radiator. One cools the radiator and the other cools the car. So it's really cool, so it doesn't overheat like other older cars, which is really nice, so you don't break down. And it is fuel injected, so it doesn't have the carburetor, which is good because that just leads to problems, and it usually breaks down more if it has a carburetor. Okay, now I'll show you the back. Okay, now for the rims, not the back. I'll get there eventually. There were other models. There was a 190D, which the D stands for diesel. The E on this one stands for fuel injected. So the D had different rims. I'm just doing this for comparison. They were mostly covered up. They didn't have much design to them, just the Mercedes symbol like this. And I really like the 190E's rims better because they just have more holes in it and it just looks more modern. Now for the back, right here it says 190E. If it was a 190, which didn't have the fuel injection, it was just a carburetor, like I talked about for the engine, it would just say 190, this one is the 190E, and then it would do 190D if it was the diesel. Then for the 2.3, this stands for how many liters the engine is out of a 4-cylinder. So some of them are 1.8 or 2.3 like this, or the 2.6. Okay, and also it has the Mercedes symbol, and now I'll show you the back. And it's pretty big. Let's push that button. Okay, come close up. Okay, so the back fits 4 suitcases, which is a lot actually. Since this is a smaller car, it's really deep down there, and pretty long too, and wide also. And for how small this car is, the back is really surprising how big it is. So you can really fit a lot back there. Okay, now I'll show you the inside. Now, like I said, the inside, it looks like it's dated, obviously, compared to new cars today. Usually every new car now has a screen. Obviously this one's from 1988 and doesn't. But this is it looks better than a lot of new interiors quality-wise, because the seats don't have barely any wrinkles in them besides the one it has, which is just for design. And there's no folds in it, and they're still comfy, and there's barely any wear in this car, which is really good for how old it is. And it does have 200,000 miles, we think, because the odometer stopped working at 100,000, and that was in 2009, so we're guessing it does have 200,000 now. And this has the upgraded radio back in 1988 when you had the option, and down here are the window controls. And this is really easy to use. It shifts super smooth. Like whenever I see someone do it, it's super smooth, and that you can put it in 3rd or 2nd gear also. Then right here is just some storage for whatever you need to put there, and an armrest. And this is the year where they had the airbags, so that's good too because it's safe now. And the gauges are just right here, and it has the cruise control, which is pretty good because it's older car. And there's no cracks in the dashboard, which is really good because a lot of old cars now have cracks all over them. Okay, now I'll take you to the back. Now for the back, like I said, the seats, no one really ever sat in these a lot, so they're basically brand new, super comfy, and even though the back there's not a lot of leg room, the comfy seats really make up for that. And if the seat was moved up a little, I could be in here for a long road trip. And since there was no cup holders back then, this is just an armrest, which is nice to have. And window controls are on the sides here and on the other door. And then there's little nets right here to put your stuff. Okay, and this I really thought was cool because it's still in there. Mercedes gave first aid kits in their cars. So there is the Mercedes first aid kit in there, but I'm not going to take it out because I want to ruin it because of how it's old. So I don't want it screwed up. And you can fit 5 people back here. I think you could. The seats are pretty wide. Oh yeah, 3 people. 5 people in the car in total. And there's an ashtray too, but that doesn't apply to me. So now we're gonna go. Okay, I'm sitting in the back today because I didn't have a third person to film and drive. So I have a parent driving. So okay, moving on. The car is really comfy and has a good speed for how old it is, which is really good. It has pickup for when you're going on the freeway and good stopping power for the brakes also. And it's pretty quiet in here actually, especially for since like I said, it's an older car. The seals still work really good, and it obviously a couple rattles here and there. It is older, but now we're on a smooth road, so you can't even really hear anything but the engine. And the roads here are not very good for the streets here. So it's a good test to show you the suspension now of how comfy all of that. So the air conditioner and the heater are so good on this. It's better than a lot of modern cars. It just is ice cold right when you put it on and really hot when you turn the heater on, which is really nice. Especially for hot or cold days. And so that's going to be my video for this. Once again, it's a 1988 Mercedes-Benz 190e 2.3, and I really like this car. Okay, thanks for watching. Bye.